Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Warzone TV. The sky above us looks empty, quiet, calm. But tonight we step into a truth that feels almost unreal. A truth about how one of the smallest countries on Earth has climbed beyond the clouds and built something no one expected: a hidden shield. Stretching across space itself, a shield that watches, listens, and reacts long before danger ever arrives. This story begins in motion, not on the ground, but high above the blue horizon and the cold, silent darkness, where no sound travels and no borders exist. Up here, Israel has created a defense network that has changed the very rules of war, a system born not from size or strength, but from urgency and pure human innovation down below. The country is tiny, a dot on the map, surrounded by threats. It cannot afford to miss a single warning, so it looked upward, and that decision changed everything at first. Israel had one simple goal: to see the danger coming long before it reached their borders back in the early years. It was not about dominance or power. It was about survival. The nation understood that intelligence from the ground was no longer enough. They needed eyes that no enemy could blind, destroy. They needed the sky itself, so they launched their first satellite, a small machine fragile compared to the giants launched by superpowers. But this small leap created a new era for Israel. For the first time ever, they could observe every movement across the region from a place no enemy could reach, a place untouched by borders or politics or threats. This moment was the first piece of their invisible shield, but Israel did not stop there. They never do. Instead of building huge satellites that move slowly and cost massive amounts, they took a different path. They became masters of shrink technology, of making machines lighter, faster, smarter satellites that could shift in orbit with precision, satellites that could be launched quickly, and emergency satellites that could survive the harshest conditions in space. These little sentinels became the scouts of the sky, watching without rest. No pause, no sleep, eyes that never blink. And from this came the first major leap: a satellite that could see the world in ways no one thought possible. The new generation machines that turned the darkness of night into a bright picture that could see through clouds, through storms, even through orage. Camouflage meant to hide entire armies. Imagine looking down at Earth from hundreds of miles up and seeing a single vehicle rolling through the desert, or a tiny change in a building's shape, or the faint movement of equipment hidden in shadow. These satellites could see all of it. This vision became, they said, Israel's advantage. A silent awareness that no enemy could match. But seeing is only half the story, because once you know a threat is coming, you must stop it. And this is where Israel built something extraordinary, a system that moves at the speed of danger itself. Imagine this: in some distant location, an enemy fires a rocket. The heat burst rises into the sky for a tiny moment, and far above, where the air grows thin, an Israeli satellite detects that flash instantly. A signal races down to Earth into a command center. The path of the rocket is calculated in seconds. The right interceptor is chosen before the rocket is even finished rising. This is not reaction. This is prediction. This is defense that begins in space, not on the ground. Now here comes one of the most brilliant pieces of this entire network. Israel asked a question no one else dared to ask: what if we could watch the sky without making a sound? Because most nations rely on radar. Radar is loud. Radar is like shouting into the dark and waiting for an echo. But a smart enemy hears the shout and hides from it. They jam it. They trick it. So Israel created technology that uses no signal at all. It sees only with light, a system so sensitive it can detect the small distortion aircraft leaves as it slices through the air. It can see the tiny glint off a drone wing. It can piss the faint ripple of movement, even from stealth machines designed to be invisible. This silent watcher is one of the most advanced optical guardians ever made. And because it sends no signal, the enemy has no idea they are being watched. They cannot hide. They cannot prepare. This is the unseen eye of Israel, a constant guardian above the skies. People talk about Iron Dome, the world-famous interceptor that knocks rockets out of the sky in mid-flight. But Israel has already looked to the next horizon. What if you could stop the missile before it even begins falling back to Earth? What if you destroy it in space during the moment it hangs between worlds? This is where Israel is going: a future built on beams of energy, not metal, not explosions, but pure concentrated light. Israel is a global leader in laser weapons. Their iron beam system is already proving that directed energy can destroy incoming threats with no sound. No smoke, just a flash of invisible heat. Now, imagine a more powerful version of that laser placed on a satellite orbiting Earth, a weapon that fires at the speed of light. No delay, no warning, no countermeasure. A beam that travels across thousands of miles to strike a missile while it is still in the frozen quiet vacuum of space. Think of the implications. One shot costing only a few dollars and disabling a weapon that cost millions. This is the kind of shift that rewrites history in Israel. Is not imagining it. They are building it part by part, step by step, with international partners and with their own pioneering defense companies. But all this technology needs a brain, something to collect everything the satellites see, something to analyze every movement, every launch, every threat. This brain is not human. It is artificial intelligence, a system designed to think faster than any person ever could. It receives information from space, from radars, from drones, from naval vessels, and from every sensor across the country. It blends all of this into a single living picture, a single heartbeat of national awareness. A missile launch appears, AI detects it in a fraction of a second, identifies the type, calculates the path, predicts where it will land, and chooses the best way to stop it. A human still gives the final command, but the machine does everything else, and it does it at a speed no human brain could match in modern warfare, where seconds decide life, or death. This fusion of machine speed and human judgment is the ultimate edge. And while Israel builds this shield, the world is watching. Nations are rethinking their strategies, some with fear, some with respect, some with curiosity. Israel is partnering with major global powers, while its rivals feel their missile strategies slowly becoming obsolete. Even neutral experts admit this small nation has forced the entire world to rethink defense in the space age. The most incredible part of this story is how Israel achieved all of it not through endless budgets like superpowers, but through creativity. Problem solving through a tech culture that thrives on innovation, startups, engineers, thinkers, dreamers. They turned ideas into machines, into a shield that now protects millions. Israel is the size of New Jersey, yet it has shaped a new chapter of global security because it built something no one else dared to build, a defense grid above the Earth itself. And where does the future lead it? Leads to swarms of tiny microsatellites that launch in minutes to replace any damaged asset, to drones that patrol the emptiness of orbit, to AI-controlled laser stations ready to fire beams of light that can defend an entire region at the speed of thought, to a new military branch dedicated solely to space dominance. This is not science fiction. This is the path Israel is walking, and the world is beginning to follow. This is the new battlefield, the quiet black ocean above our world, where no borders exist and no armies march, where wars may one day be prevented by light-speed decisions made hundreds of miles above the ground. And it began with a tiny country that dared to look up, dared to innovate, dared to survive by building a shield where no one expected one, a shield in space, silent and watching, shaping the future of defense. Thanks for watching the video. Stay updated for latest news.